Hello there, my name's Mark and these are my Dice Tales, and today I want to talk to you about Voidfighter by Osprey Games and the designer Casey Garsky. I hope I said that right. So it's a very impressive front cover. It is a game that brings to you skirmish space fights, so mainly based on the smaller fighters, not the big command ships. The game will have you playing with 3 levels of ships. So there is a chance of having a command ship. So that's the bigger one. This is a 30, is it 638 size base? Your standard 28 mil base, and this is a 15 mil base for a stub fighter. So you're probably going to be using a 28 as your main stub fighter, and then a bigger base and a bigger base for the other ships. I shrink everything down. This is my channel. I like small spaces. So the game plays out on a 3x4 foot. So here I've got a 3x3 foot, which shrunk down to 1.5 feet, is what you can see here. You'll need some movement tokens, at least it goes on measuring sticks. So you need 3 medium measuring sticks. 2 mediums would be a long, and half a medium would be a short for movement. And when you're shooting, you would have a stat card which tells you how good you are, how many moves you can do, how good you are at defending, how good you are at shooting, how good you are at piloting. And then you will have a dice ladder. So let's say the generic stat would be a D6. So you'd roll, if I was shooting someone, I'd roll 2d6 and add up the number. A 3, that's a terrible roll. The enemy would check their defense. So let's say their defense is 2d6. Let's just roll off again. He's rolled a 6, which is double mine, so he has evaded my shot. I might be attacking them in the rear, so in which case my 2d6, this is where the ladder comes in, would going into 2d8. And you can change it to flanking as well, but generic rules are just front and rear. So if I had advantage like that, I'll be rolling 2d8. If I had a better skill and spent more points on my pilot, I might be rolling a 2d10. And then if I got advantage, I'd be going up to a 2d12. If I'd got damage or I was being shot in the back, my defense would go down from a 2d6 to a 2d4. If I'd already been damaged in the hull, then I'd be rolling 2d4s. Let's have a look at a stat card. And you want tokens to show that you've moved. And then when you shoot, so basically everyone moves. So let's say I move this ship first. I'll put a movement token next to him. The enemy would then move a ship and put a token. The first player would move a ship and put a token down. I would move a ship and put a token down. Then in the gunnery phase, whoever won the initiative, so the loser moves first. So that gives the advantage to the attacker, who can move into a better position. But then in the shooting phase, the winner of the initiative shoots first, again giving them a better advantage. So I might destroy the ship. I've got a cool explosion on there. If you're wondering, the ships I've got in these tokens are from a game called Wing Commander from the late 80s, early 90s maybe. There were 4, 5 Wing Commander games. There was a Wing Commander movie and the Wing Commander cartoon that is on YouTube if you want to check that out. I digress. So I've got the humans versus the cat people, the Kilrathi. So let's have a look at a stat card. This is one that I've made up. So I've got the name of the ship, the point cost, the speed. So speed means I can do either move 2 sticks, or I can move and do a maneuver, which might be a loop-de-loop or a side, like a straight to the side, or other options that are in the book. Defense is if I'm shot at, what I roll to defend. Fire, what I roll to shoot someone else down. And piloting, what I'd roll to do a maneuver. So say that loop-de-loop and the side, moving to the side and strafing out the way sort of maneuvers. I've got some special skills which I paid for here. I don't have the cost on this card, but these dice here and these abilities here have been costed up to 15. If we look at the equivalent, this is the enemy fighter. He's much cheaper. he's got less powers, and he's only rolling d6s, whereas the Hornet was rolling 2d8s for shooting. And when you get damaged, you can mark off one of your systems which might have been damaged. So you could use tokens for these. So you could put a token down next to you to say that my engine's been damaged. And if my engine's damaged, then I might go down on speed. I might be able to do less maneuvers or move less far. I'll have to double check what it said in the rules on that. If I'm damaged in the crew, then my piloting skill will probably go down. If I'm damaged in systems, I'm assuming my defense might go down. I'll have to check. There's a cheat sheet to the back of the book when we do the flip through. And if you did score a hit, then you'd roll 2d6, and a 7 would outright destroy the enemy ship, and then something else would damage one of those systems, which would affect what dice they roll in future combat turns. So let's have a look. I love the cover. We need to mention who the illustrator is. Dimitris Manitos from Greece. Awesome. Started drawing in the 80s. He was a child in the 80s. He's the same age as me. Maybe, or thereabouts. He's done Modiphius stuff for a Chung Cthulhu. Wicked. So here are Casey's ships, I think. So I think he mentioned that these were 3D printed. I know in his Discord he has mentioned where he got his 3D printed from. How the game plays, which is basically talking about the dice ladder. Playing the games, initiative, command point phase, maneuvering phase, shooting phase, maintenance phase, terrain, asteroids, space creatures, debris, ground vehicles, designing your own ship. But then there are, I think there's 9 sample ships here, and some of them are very close to popular movies, let's say. Scenarios, there are 12 of them, and they're pretty good ones. There's like racing scenarios to wiping out incoming nuke missile scenarios. A loot box, which, fair, you're getting these chance meetings. You'll get that in any game. I don't know, I've got a good view here, but let's get on to the pictures and campaign, where you would name your pilots, and you'd have your aces, your veterans, and your rookies, and you'll see how they survive and level up. Generic one-page background story. What is this nonsense? And then the excellent artwork. Is this all Dimitri's? It is wonderful. I love the color, the sense of movement and power, and the alienness, the retroness. It's all pretty epic. Here's your measuring sticks. So you could have a long, medium, and short, but it does mention having just 3 mediums would cover you in the way that I described, and tokens showing damaged and moved, etc. Great example pictures. Pretty much typical to most Osprey games. Your blue boxes describing profiles and rules. Ground assault picture. You can feel the movement in that, and the panic in the little men in the trenches. More examples of movements. Shooting and dropping mines and shooting torpedoes. So you'd use command points to drop mines and torpedoes, which are like extra special attacks. This is like there we go. That's a torpedo trail into a missile. Blast into the side of that fighter. He's having an unlucky day. In an asteroid field, there were loads of asteroid fields in the Wing Commander game, so I'm very looking forward to running into something like that. A more massive game, so it goes from about 75 points to, I don't know, 200 points. So from 4 ships in a squadron to, I don't know, 10 to 12 or more maybe. Alien type ships there, very pointy, triangular ships. These are now into the sample units. I think we've got one. So swarm fighters, Star Saber. Let's read the description here and see if we work out what movie it's based on. The Cyanites of the Confed are legendary figures. Not all pilots, but they use their supernatural abilities to pull off spectacular maneuvers and make near impossible shots. The saber is specifically built to take advantage of these psychic abilities, responding to the pilot with the speed of thought. And that's a 20 cost ship with agile, maneuverable, and repair and shield, so they sound hard to take out. This one's looking a little bit like maybe a race scenario there. Looks like a very racing ship. Bigger ships, gunships and things. Blue team. Alien, organic-y type ships. So I loved the artwork in this one. Winning scenarios. What are our scenarios called? So I think I mentioned there's a race one. The space creatures. Smuggling. Smuggler's Den, ambush. Again, more alien ships there. I think that's about it. That's as much as I can say for this video. The nuke scenario. I think there's a space station assault scenario. And then it talks about campaigns where you'd have aces and veterans and greenhorns. And if your ship survives, if the crew survives. And that's clean, epic front cover there. Well done, illustrator. I love it. Mission consequences. So if you won the scenario, you're on the higher end of the table. Middle of the road. If you draw, you get middle results. So it talks about giving you minuses. You'd fly into the next battle blind. On the first round of the game, so you'd go down. Instead of rolling 2d6, you'd roll 2d4. Your opponent would be rolling 2d6. So that'd give them advantage in the first round. So the best thing, you've discovered an ancient piece of alien technology. Choose emergency teleporter, death flower, or stealth. They are abilities in the game, and it does not cost you. You can basically apply that upgrade for free until you're taken out of action. There is a principal roster sheet, which is slightly different to my design, and the cheat sheets at the back. If I was reviewing this game a few days before, I would have said it's a pity they didn't include tokens for, say, damaged engines, damaged shields, movement tokens, etc. They have rectified that. On the Osprey website now, you can download a campaign page and a tokens page, though you can, use your own and cubes, etc. So I'm really looking forward to this. I am wondering how I'm going to play it. This is one possible scenario, but as you can see, I've got some glare and I can't control my lighting very well, so I might use coin capsules. The reason I went with coin capsules is I can pack this into a pencil case and take it to work and maybe play a little game at work. I think the game's going to be quick and fast. I'll say under an hour, even learning the rules, to be honest. I am also experimenting with Lego ships, because someone on the Discord forum was playing with Lego and displayed some ships. I know you can get bags of Star Wars ships, but these are just, I've taken apart like the 3-in-1 dinosaur and a 3-in-1 kitty that my child has, and I've made these ships. So I think I could do a better job if I read his fuller collection. But as a quick and turrets, as a quick go-to, I could play with Lego or my coin capsules. I completely misplaced my Star Wars X-Wings models. They have gone into storage. I don't know if I've got enough because I only collected Rebels, but I think I might have enough, just enough TIE Fighters. So we'll see about that. But I like the creativity of Lego, making organic ships and different shaped ships and Cylon type ships. Which do you prefer? If I go and do a game video of this, would you like to see the Lego ships or the coin capsule ships? If I can control the lighting, I might get a better look at the coin capsules, and a more overhead view would be slightly better. Other than that, does this game have any appeal to you, do you think? Do you have any spaceships lying around? What universe would you play in? Are you going to be Cylons? Are you going to be Buck Rogers? Are you going to be Firefly? Star Trek? Star Wars? What else is there? There are loads out there. Wing Commander, as I say, I've gone for a computer game. Now, just as an end to the video, I'm going to leave it there, but I'll just say what else I've been doing. You might have been expecting a Starforge video. I don't think I'm going to progress with doing videos for this. My story went very bonkers. I really love the game for being totally free to the narrative and being just loosely based on rules. It was D6s versus D10s to work out if you've done a strong or a weak hit, which I think you can see in my previous video. But I did have another video on the edits, which ran for an hour. I don't think I'm going to upload it. Again, let me know in the comments below if you want to see that and you want to continue with Starforge. I just felt it was a bit too free, and my mind went a bit weird as I went into a temple in a dust cloud and was in the birthing place of these organic alien ships, being chased by a religious fanatic who wanted to destroy this alien menace. So it got a bit complicated, and I had the rebels and I had us, and something was generic, tropes from sci-fi, and then some of it, then my own imagination started kicking in and bringing in new things. Also on my table, I've been playing this every night, Marvel Champions. I love it. I've got most of the first mutant wave. There's like a middle wave and an end wave, which I'm looking forward to in the future, maybe for Christmas. But I've been enjoying it. I call it a skirmish card game, basically. You have one hero, or you can play two, versus a villain, let's say the Sentinels, or Mr. Sinister, or Apocalypse. And yeah, it plays out with cards. They have a scenario. You have to sort of thwart the scenario as well as beat down the hit points, and as well as other minions popping out and ambushing you. There are things that I could take away from this game to try and bring into, if you remember my Oracle video a few weeks ago, I think I can improve on that and maybe make a version 2. So yes, that is me. This is Mark's Dice Tales. I really like Casey Garski's other games, Sword Weirdos and Space Weirdos. I've enjoyed my time with Starforge, and it's like a gym for your imagination. And Marvel Champions has been a great fun distraction away from needing models and a 3-foot table. And looking forward to spaceship games, and playing with Lego or coin capsules, or finding my spaceships. So yeah, that is my Dice Tales update. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you are playing, what you're looking forward to. On the horizon is a Kickstarter from Mantic Games. Epic Firefight, I think it's called, or Epic War... No, I think it's Epic Firefight, which is a 10mm game. Again, I might be able to use the tanks and machines to play this game. And yeah, I think my last few videos I just went a little bit crazy. So hopefully a new Osprey game will refresh my appetite and get something more familiar to the channel back to the table. So Mark's Dice Tales, signing off. Goodbye.